This is Larry. Today we will focus on the unfortunate being that is known as Larry. No, this is not a documentary, and no, it is not a biography. Think of it as a study, where the subject is under the camera's gaze as bacteria would be found under a powerful microscope. Larry was an unfortunate accident created by the combination of DNA gathered from Albert Einstein and a blind possum. Larry has no capability to hold a job or friends of any kind. He does not even have the motor skills to hold up this paper cup. Observe as he attempts to lift this concoction of hydrochloric acid and mercury. An almost amusing mixture of nearsighted judgment and delayed response plagues most of Larry's day-to-day activities. Here at Dana Labs, we have raised Larry under the most careful observation, collecting data from the multiple experiments performed. We have tried everything. However, as any real scientist knows, every bird must eventually leave its nest. It was a hard decision, but Dana Labs took the chance and let Larry out into the real world. This will be the final Larry experiment. As a first observation, it is quite clear that someone raised in a lab their whole life will not grasp the concept of traffic laws. As estimated, after the 6th day of adapting to the outside, Larry would encounter his first social situation. At the Dana Labs, we have always had faith that Larry could have a change of heart. Could a virtually lifeless organism feel sympathy for the less fortunate? We gave Larry his privacy. Unfortunately, all good things eventually end. Larry soon realized the cold body he was spooning for the past 4 nights had been deceased due to a deadly combination of both rabies and scabies. This was the final straw that sent Larry back to his original constant state of shock, and therefore sent him crawling back to the Dana Labs. This was the last funded experiment for Larry. But Larry lives on. He lives in our hearts, he lives in our minds, and he lives in our souls. And most importantly, he lives in my basement. It was difficult to convince the lab scientists to not put him down, so I opted to continue the experiment by myself. The experiment still goes on.